So we've got a question from Carmen here. So if the plan is to hold for 7 to 10 years with no intention to extract equity in the short term, is it always better to invest in an early adopter market rather than a second win market? And Ian's put this slide together for me, but I'm from the western suburbs of Melbourne originally. I don't know who William Shakespeare even is, but I guess everybody is different. I'm just being very facetious here. I know who he is, but everyone's different in terms of the definitions, in terms of how they describe the market, right? So we've got early adopter markets. So that's an area that maybe has seen no growth for a prolonged period. The data's shifting, and there's an opportunity to buy well within the growth on the horizon. So that would be, places like Melbourne, maybe not as much of an early adopter market now, but when our clients were getting in say back end of last year, and maybe they didn't come out of the gates roaring with capital growth, but we're really confident that they're kind of 12 months on, 2 years, 3 years, going to be really strong. Then you've got kind of halfway or heading up the hill. So that's an area that's already showing strong signs from a data perspective, and our results are available for everybody to see, kind of 12-month post-purchase. So that might be somewhere like a Gold Coast, or even like a Mildura as an example. Then you've got your steam chasers. So that's an area that's already kind of performed strongly for a prolonged period of time, but the data's still strong, and maybe performance is still expected. So that could be in Adelaide. Some areas that we've purchased previously in the past, which people are still purchasing, and they're not terrible buys, might be somewhere like a Toowoomba. And then there's like second win markets. So that's areas that, maybe went through a growth period, but then they've gone through a stagnation period of 5-7 years. So that could be somewhere like in Melbourne, that might be like your Ballarat, your Bendigo, maybe even your Geelong market. They're all looking quite primed to have their second win. Now, this one for me, second win's kind of a bit of a hard one, whether you call it second win, because when we did the last cycle end and the next cycle kind of start, that one's always up for debate. But I guess there's no kind of one size fits all. Like, everybody's kind of got different aspects of where they're at. I mean, but if you're buying with a strong buy and hold strategy for 10 years, it makes sense to me personally to get into a market that's going to perform kind of straight out of the gate. So I guess the reason for that is, right now, your goal is to hold this property for 7 to 10 years. But like I say to many clients, there's probably three controllables which you don't really have a whole heap of control on, and that's your work, your family, and your health. And as time goes on, those things can kind of pivot on you at a drop of a dime. Now, if you've bought into an area and it's done nothing for 5 years, and then in year 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it starts to take off, that might be great. But if at year 5 you had to turn around, something happened, and you had to sell that property, or whatever it might be that you needed to do that, it's not really, I guess, pushed you any further towards your goals quicker. It's kind of like you'd rather have the bird in hand than waiting for it to come through, right? So for me, I would much rather get that growth earlier on, or being in a market that's going to grow kind of straight off the bat, or whether it's an early adopter market. I wouldn't really like to just be sitting in a market stagnant. So I just buy in, not saying this is an example, but the old methodology is just buy near a capital city, just buy near the beach. It'll be fine over time. You probably will be fine over time. But again, think life can throw you curveballs. And for me personally, I would much rather be ahead at the beginning early on, just in case things don't go the right way from there on as well.